Hello, hello. Okay, my mic is back. Sorry, I had to restart OBS because I don't know what it was doing, why it was doing that. Okay, hopefully this is better and my mic won't be cutting out because, yes, I really need to understand why that glitch happens. If I do not have this, when I start up OBS, when I open it and I do not have my audio box and everything hooked up, soon as it starts up, it's like always cutting in and out. Anyways, ain't nothing gonna stop this show. So with the chariot here, I got that for oh my god, was it Lino? Is that the one I was saying originally? Because I feel like that's about when it cut out. So with Lino, I got the chariot card here, and what I was saying is I kind of just think of this. I don't know if he's like some de facto leader or second in charge, but to me, it kind of feels like this is him kind of being the wrangler or like the general of the group and kind of like guiding the group, letting them know, hey, this is when we got to do something. Like he seems like he's the one who get a bit more analytical about stuff. With him coming up as a chariot, it also can come up with things of like hesitancy as well. It's not coming up in reverse, but sometimes it can deal with that, or being of two minds also can speak to motion or like going like needing to proceed in something in some kind of way. Sometimes also speaks to travel with the chariot card here. For Changbin, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and like I said, I was looking up his sign because I was, I had to look up all the members because it's like 8 or 9 of them, so I would get them confused. And I seen that his astrology, at least on this one website I'm using, it comes up that Changbin is a Leo. So this is not actually him, but maybe this is a mindset that he is in right now where, maybe he's hyper focused on materialism or like some kind of financial gain, not really being nurturing or considerate about it in some kind of way. Because again, this is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So everything she is not typically, typically I think of someone who's very nurturing, somebody who is very wise when it comes to money. Again, someone who isn't hyper focused on money, but they make money easily. They know how to, what to do with money, etc., etc. But it's coming up in reverse for him. So moving forward, the next three that I have, according to this website I'm using, Kpop singers, mind you, .com. The next one is Hyunjin, if I'm pronouncing that right. Let's see what we get for his energy in the group. I had two cards that wanted to fall out for him. He has the Four of Cups and the Page of Swords here. Let's see something. Hold on, wait. I was trying to see if I could shrink this. There we go. I want to shrink this a little bit so you all can see that a little better. Let's see. So it's not taking up all the screen. Just put that off to the side. So anyways, so I have the Four of Cups and the Page of Swords here for Hyunjin. So this to me could speak that maybe he's very book smart, very knowledgeable. What is his sign again? Was he a Virgo? He's a Pisces. Okay, interesting. Hmm. Okay, so with the Page of Swords, I see somebody who's like very knowledgeable about a lot of things. Maybe not the best when they go to put it in practice. I very much think like college student or high school student, like, oh, I have all of these concepts or understanding or understanding of a lot of things in theory, but I don't actually know how to carry it out in real life or in the process. And then we have the Four of Cups here, and usually that is like my apathy card. This is somebody who is Usually when I think of like the Four of Cups when it's pertaining to somebody, is somebody who is ignoring something, maybe not the most sensitive person, which I kind of highly doubt with you being a Pisces. Even if it's just you being very sensitive to your own emotions, at least, you know, Pisces don't come out to me as somebody who is generally, you know, it depends on what those other signs you got going on there, but typically the, you know, Pisces is a very like intuitive and feeling emotional sign. So wonder what he is ignoring, or like he's feeling bored of, or something he needs to be paying attention to here. And again, the Page of Swords, with the Swords cards, it's usually dealing with like air sign kind of energy, Aquarius, your Geminis and Libras here as well. Funny enough, bangchan is the Libra, at least according to the website I'm looking at. So yeah, we're getting that for him. And then let's see if we get some more clarity. We are going to do Han. This is one thing I do know from looking up some of this stuff. Apparently, Han and Hyunjin weren't on the best of terms when they first started out, which makes sense because they're opposites. One's a Pisces, one's a Virgo, if what I'm getting from this website is to be believed. So they naturally just kind of like have an intense reaction to one another. So that makes sense. We have the Seven of Wands. Why? Usually the Seven of Wands make me think of gossip or feeling like picked on. Um, Maybe this could be dealing with like social media, maybe something with that. It kind of makes me think of like rise above the gossip, rise above the chatter and stuff that's going on here typically. So that's interesting. Han is coming up as the Seven of Wands. Mm, I don't know if Han also is the type of person that maybe likes to be alone, or like retreat within himself in some kind of sense as well. Again, I don't know them like that to kind of be, I'm just inferring for what I'm getting from the cards. Let's see what we get for Felix energy. Two cards for Felix as well. I think that is also funny because a lot of people, I know myself included, I got Felix and Hyunjin mixed up a lot. I'm not even gonna hold you. So Felix comes up as the Eight of Wands in reverse, and then the World card. So the World card, that it's like it's something complete, and that could be like, hey, we completed our last cycle, or our last era, or our last album, our concert, whatever the case may be. Something here is in completion, is done, it's over with, and now the next thing can't kind of come fast enough. I don't know what this could be pertaining to, but you have the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Eight of Wands usually to me speaks of things like coming in quickly. But with it coming up in reverse, it's like there's some kind of delay, or it's not moving fast enough. You kind of want to move this quickly along, and it's just not happening that way. Oh, I have two more people to pull for, so I need to move these. So Hyunjin is going to be moved up. And this is going to be Han, Felix, and then we're going to do Seungmin, and then Ian. I think it's the other I had a bunch of cards fall out for him. Let's note the devil. I couldn't get it. The Six of Pentacles, Judgment. Ooh, honey, hold on. I don't think this is for you. I hope not. Let's try that again. Seungmin. The Justice card came out again. So, oh, and Judgment. What's going on with you? So far, I think people need to watch out for Seungmin from what I'm getting from these cards. Or maybe he needs to take some time and slow it down because so the Judgment card, it sounds like what it is. There's some kind of judgmental aspect here or a feeling of being judged or I guess you can kind of say enlightenment could also be the other case if we want to kind of be more open with the understanding of this, kind of just like ascending here, kind of being understanding, some kind of higher self sense that's going on here. But then we also have the Justice card. The Justice and the Judgment card together for me just speak of like legal matters, and it doesn't have to say it's necessarily stemming from him saying like he's at fault, but maybe he's going to be caught up in some kind of like legal stuff or something that could potentially turn legal, or maybe he's going to have to make some kind of legal plea for something. Because with the Justice card, that's literally like usually what I think of. I think of the law. I think of legalities. I think of someone having, something having to be called to rights or corrected in some sense here with the Justice card. And then IN is the last one, yes. So what is the energy the Five of Wands, which kind of makes sense, even though he's with I think most people refer to as the maknae, and I could be getting it confused again. Like I said, I'm not big in K-pop, but I do my little Googles, my little TikToks. I don't know if he is recently been kind of like getting into the front of attention, but there's a way you kind of have to stand out when you have a group of 8 members that you can clearly see. But you also are collaborative because you all depend on one another to kind of make this harmony, this collection, this music that you all do. So that's kind of what I'm getting here from him with the Five of Wands. It's just like, yeah, I'm having to find my way or understand myself and kind of like stick out, but also be in conformity or a unit of some sort. And that can kind of be a challenge. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to pull an archetype card for each of them. And then we can go in and look at kind of like the overall energy for like their upcoming album. See if I can get more clarity on that. On like their personalities that's coming through, some more explanation. And if I do have anything mixed up, I'm okay with that. Again, I'm pulling on like 8 people, so yeah. Maybe there's some cross wiring going on here. Here we go. He is getting high creases here. Okay, funny enough, I get 2 cards for him. We have the priest. All of these are in the light attributes. This is facilitating spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Makes me feel like, is there some religious aspects here? Because again, with the high priestess, it makes me think of, it doesn't have to be like woo-woo stuff, but just like him really relying on his religion to kind of get him through. We also have Vampire, which says, make sure aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Sure why that would come up for bangchan. Again, maybe somebody else could understand that better. I don't get that one for him. What kind of energy vampires is around him? Maybe it is his whole career with being in, you know, the leader of StrayKids or something. We have the Messiah showing up in the shadow attribute because it came up in reverse. This is dealing with an exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. That kind of explains his chariot energy. He feels like, oh, I have to wrangle y'all in. I have to make sure you all stay on task kind of energy. I would expected that more so from bangchan and not leeknow. But again, it kind of feels like he's a de facto leader in a sense, or like second in command. So maybe it makes sense. Oh, changbin just flew out like that. So we have Samaritan, shadow attributes, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Accepting appreciation and recognition. Does he feel like he is sometimes looked over? Is that why the Queen of Pentacles is coming up here? Because again, it doesn't always have to deal with like money. Again, it's dealing with like the material world. So I wonder if there's something here where he feels like he's the person in the group that is oftentimes looked over or forgotten or not appreciated enough. And not saying like it's his group members. It could be his group members, or it could be the management, or it could be the fans. I'm not sure. But chain pin, there feels like it's something here where maybe he kind of feels like overlooked, or maybe he feels like he hasn't succeeded where he wants to here with the Queen of Pentacles. I haven't quite arrived where I know I've made it quite yet. Is maybe the other way that can be interpreted. Okay, why is okay? What is the issue he's having here with compassion or connecting with people? Hyunjin. Even though he has the advocate, that Four of Cups with the Page of Swords made me feel differently. Um, and maybe it's a defense mechanism because he is such a public figure. Maybe he feels like he has to kind of pull back emotionally or hide some of his emotions in some kind of sense. Or there's always like I want to say like a personality or a character he displays in one sense, but it kind of feels like maybe he needs to take some time in between albums or something like that to kind of like reconnect with himself, or tap into his emotions, because there seems like there's a bit of a disconnect there, or there's some kind of struggle there, and kind of, I don't know, maybe relating to other people in some kind of sense. Maybe that's his own little thing he has to kind of like grow into or deal with. Excuse me. This is what I got for Hans. Okay. That's why I started coughing. Benevolence and compassion, recognizing the internal force within yourself and others. Is this why Han and Hyunjin kind of butt heads? Are they one and the same? Two sides of the same coin? Notice what the shadow attribute says too. It can deal with despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. With the Seven of Wands, To me, I'm gonna be honest. I just have to be honest. It's kind of reading like trickster or conniving energy. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Oh, oh. Okay. If you are somebody who is not a stay, but maybe you are familiar with them, I think those who are stays will probably find this hilarious, like I do. I know there has been some things in equating Felix to kind of like a Legolas, that he is, fairy type. He has very, what do you call it when you have both the masculine and the feminine looks here, but he has child magical, and I just think it's funny because some people do equate him to a fairy or an elf, and it is coming up in the light beauty attributes, which says seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. It just really speaks to kind of like his childish, light, loving energy that he has. If you ask me, with the child magical here, um, maybe a sense of naivete as well with Felix, you know. But good on him. Life shouldn't have to beat all of us up. What is the shadow attributes on this one say? Pessimism, depression, belief in miracles, or disbelief in miracles. Yeah, I don't. Again, from what I've seen of Felix, that doesn't seem to be true. So it's definitely understandable why the light attributes came up. But okay, so man, let's get into why you have, what's this judgment and justice card doing here for you. So this is what first fell in my lap. I'm going to shuffle again to make sure. I don't know if that was a fluke, but it says, let it clear up. Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses here. An exorcist. Fear of facing your own demons. Seungmin, what you got going on over there, boo boo? I'm gonna see if that was just a fluke. I'm gonna do this one more time because I wasn't like forming it all the way in the question all the way in my head when that card fell out. Yeah, it's okay because this fell out next. It's okay, so it's something he is dealing with somebody in some kind of aspect where he feels maybe. Hold on, clear up camera. Is it okay? Because you see, it says freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thoughts and patterns, and the other one was dealing with the exorcist of like freeing yourself and or others from kind of like negative beliefs as well. I think there is a situation, a person, something like that that some men is dealing with where he feels responsible, or he is partially responsible, because I'm not gonna say he's totally responsible, because even if you're a victim, you have to take onus and that you are the victim and you have to move accordingly. Um, no victim blaming here, but it just kind of feels like he feels responsible and kind of like leading somebody back to the path of like the straight and narrow in some sense. I don't know what this is dealing with. I don't know this man's personal life, but that feels like there's something that's coming up here. I don't think it has something to do with his group members at all. I think this is something more personal. It feels something more, and I'm going to use the word intimate and as a filler for something that's like not romantic or anything like that, but it could be family, it could be a friend, somebody who's actually like close to him and know him. Um, it doesn't feel like it's something dealing with his group members, but I could be wrong. Or maybe this is coming from, maybe he is having some kind of again with the judgment card, sorry, being here. Maybe there's something like with an epiphany. You are an international star. Maybe there's certain things he is save all animals, go vegan. Okay. Maybe there's something here where he is, he's experiencing the world and seeing maybe different cultures and people in a different light. And maybe he is understanding like, hey, maybe some of my previous beliefs or something on something is changing, and I need to make sure that other people are aware of that as well, like their own biases or what do they call it, prejudices that people may have about a certain group of people or um, a certain place or something like that. Maybe it's like maybe this is expanding his horizon a little bit. He's kind of maybe having a bit of a culture shock. I'm not sure. Okay, and then let's see. I am with this guy. Okay, so then we have the dilettantes. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Yeah, it kind of feels like Ian is loving, excuse me, you all, this whole artistic expression. Again, I think it's him trying to find his pocket, his niche, his individuality. Because as far as I know, he pretty much has grown up in front of the camera from like a young age or whatnot. So maybe there's a thing here of like, trying to find my personality, find my way, while also still being part of a unit, which I think is understandable, is what I'm getting for IN. So yeah. The only one I'm kind of like really confused on is changbin's bangchan, sorry. I don't know what's this whole spiritual thing is going on here. Mm, I thought I was just dealing with like his leadership, but maybe there's something here with like his faith or spirituality or something that's going on here. But yeah, the rest of these kind of resonate for me for sure. Okay, let's see what's going to be coming up for them on this new album or era. I don't know what they like to call it. That was an accident. The flu too. Oh, okay. Card didn't want to go in there. What was this? Ace of Cups. Okay. Hmm. So first and foremost, we have the wheel. This is different. Typically, the Wheel of Fortune is the whole name here. So maybe I'm thinking a gamble that's not going to pay off. There's going to be a bit of a snag here. Nine of Swords. Things that usually keep you up at night, nightmares. Mm, mental struggles of some sense. Ooh, there go the High Priestess again. That trust, that instinct, the intuition kicking in. The underlying we have here is the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Nine of Cups for their upcoming album here. I don't want to say controversy may follow with this album, but I think there may be some I would say at the least, from what I'm getting from these cards, it feels like maybe there will be some critiques, or maybe there will be some disagreement on one of the songs. Maybe one of the songs on here or something like that will kind of like be an issue. Maybe it'll be something with like the rollout or something. It just kind of feels like a snag. Like there's some kind of snag here with the album, with like the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Swords being here. Kind of makes me feel like there's some kind of snag being made. I think they'll end up landing on their feet and coming out of it okay, but it just kind of feels like there's some kind of discordance here. I don't know what the King of Wands could be alluding to. Is dealing with a person, or it could be dealing with a passionate scenario. You know, something that takes up a lot of room, in a sense of just like it takes up a lot of energy in some kind of sense. Maybe it's taking up more energy and time and space than it probably need to, is kind of what I feel like. The King of Wands also deals with like fiery situations, or it could deal with the fire zodiac, your Leos, your Sagittarius, your Aries. The Ten of Cups in reverse is usually, to me, that's like happiness, family, unity, togetherness, all of that, but it's coming up in reverse. So that just, again, to me, it speaks of some kind of discordance, disharmony happening here, maybe unhappiness. But then we end up with the Nine of Cups here, and that's usually like freedom, independence, wish being fulfilled. It's exhilaration. It's kind of like the other word I want to think of as well with the Nine of Cups. So I think it's something they'll see their way through. But yeah, let's see. Let me pull this deck. Need more clarity here. Memories. Wheel of Fortune. That King of Wands made me think of the rebel. Who's rebelling here? What is the, or maybe it's something they need to rebel on, but they didn't. They kind of trusted their management, or whatever was in charge of this portion, is kind of like a point of contention or disagreements here. Okay, some of you guys don't want to come off with the High Priestess. I just need one or two. Relationships. Can I say what I initially got without getting beat up on the internet? I initially felt like, is this some kind of disagreement, disharmony going on within the group? Maybe some kind of argument going on within the group. Not saying that it has the potential of like ending things or like having them separate, but you know, it is a point of contention. It is a point of tension between them. And I don't know if it's dealing with like, hey, you know, you promised that, you know, this time around we could do this, or um, maybe it's even over something really petty, like, or I'm not gonna petty, but something really small, like some sibling stuff. Like you said, I get to ride in the front seat this time or something like that. And it's just kind of like spilling over into other stuff. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's something, if I want to think bigger than that, is it something here where it's like a point of contention or tension with like the fans or their management in some kind of sense? Who knows? Um, that's more so what I'm picking up on here, but I'm not sure exactly where this is kind of going. The underlying cards I'm getting is endings, planning, and home. Hmm? I also have worries. It's the other card here. What is not working out personally for them? Because with the ending card coming up in the upright makes me feel like it's kind of like I think of it like the death card. Like there's some kind of change that needs to be made, has been made, or whatever like that, and you're kind of like the caterpillar going through your metamorphosis phase or whatever like that. You're eventually going to evolve into something. The planning is coming up in the upright again. To me that feels like, yeah, we thought this through. We went through the planning, the pre-planning. We putting our ducks in a row. We're dotting our I's and crossing our T's here. We're doing all of that. But something back home or something personally is going on. Is kind of maybe derailing things, or kind of like just throwing a rock in a situation. I'm not sure what that would be doing with the album. Why do I feel like it's something with like, and I highly doubt this because I feel like I don't know, it just seems like Korean artists, they seem to just be very stringent and specific when they do rollouts. But something makes me feel like, I don't know, would it be like an album leak or something being delayed? Again, something not kicking off quite the way they wanted or something like that. Um, I'm not sure what it is. It just feels like some kind of hiccup in here somewhere. Ugh. Okay. There go that advocate came up again. Didn't that come up for hyunjin? Yeah, hyunjin here. What is this that fell out as I'm trying to shuffle? This was companion, but it came up in the reverse. It says betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. Hmm. What's this one? Okay, not the best card. So it's saying surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. The divine with complete trust. Okay, who is their management company? I think it's something dealing with the management company. Do they feel like they were rushing this project or something? I'm not sure. This Femme Fatale also fell out. I don't know if it came up in the upright or in reverse. I just seen it kind of like hit the floor, so I'm gonna keep in the upright, but I'm gonna read both attributes. This is dealing with highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. The shadow deals with inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money, and power. Do they want to be a bit more risque in their music or with this album, and they're not being allowed to? And I'm also getting something like I got the word fan bait, or like baiting their fans. I don't know if it's something where they kind of want to cater to their more manic fan base, maybe. The people who like them and love them for like their looks and everything like that, who have like those erotic fantasies, to put it lightly. Maybe they wanted to do more stuff with that, and then it's kind of like they keep being pulled to kind of like, hey, tone it down. No, we got to strip that down. No, we got to pull that back. No, that can't be on the album. No, we're not addressing that. No, we're not talking about that. Go back to the drawing board and do something else. um Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a constant back and forth of like what they want to do creatively, or like a project or a plan that they have. Maybe it's certain lyrics or something like that. Maybe video ideas, certain little artistic concepts. I'm not sure exactly what it could be. But maybe they're kind of just getting pushback from their management team in some sense. Is that going to be the point of contention? Is that what's going to be happening here? Because look, the underlying card I'm also getting is smother, but it's coming up in shadow attributes, which is saying smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And to me, mother feels like this is based on y'all leadership, y'all management, or something like that y'all have to deal with. We also have knight, which is loyalty, romance, chivalry, a love of honor. And then we have the queen also coming up in reverse. Do they have some kind of female manager or something? It's a lot of feminine cards that's popping up here. But the shadow attribute says becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. Ooh. Okay. I think finally I tapped into it. Yeah, I think it's some kind of discordance, disagreement. Maybe it could also be feelings of like contempt of like not being able to truly do what they want. And it could be also maybe some of the members in the group aren't also comfortable with it either, but maybe like a majority of them are. Um, and I also feel like there's maybe something here of like, there's a battle here, maybe, or a back and forth of like, um, I think the StrayKids have or at least somebody here, have an ambition of like, they are trying to, what's a nice way I could put this? I guess maybe knock the rose colored glasses off of people's face, and like, I don't want to make cutesy songs. I don't want something that seems all positive light and all this other stuff. I want stuff that actually speaks to like the human experiences. We deal with sensuality, we deal with anger, we deal with maybe I want to express more of like those darker tones or something here, but I'm not being allowed to do that. Instead, I could be going through something artistically, personally, that is like dark or heavy or something like that, that I want to actually spray a light on, but I'm not able to, because when I go here with my management, or I'm with my group, some people don't agree with that. They don't like it, they don't resonate with it. Or my management group is like, no, that's, people aren't going to want to hear that. We want upbeat, positive energy here. No negativity, no sexiness, no none of that. Like, I think that's kind of what's coming up here. If I had to put my finger on it, that's the best way I could explain that. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah. Is anything else coming through here? And I don't know if it's because Seungmin's cars made a big impression on me, but it's something coming through about Seungmin. I stays, or anybody, or if you're somebody who's like an idol watcher, and I don't mean like idols like K-pop idols, but like you idol as an IDLE, I think it's the and you just kind of peek in every now and then on what's going on in K-pop news or something like that. Is this something like explosive going on in the K-pop industry? Or if you hear something come up about Seungmin, or he's like roped into something, or he's connected to somebody maybe from another management group. Seungmin is like coming through pretty strong for me, and I don't know if it's because he had the justice and judgment card, but I think he's somebody of importance to watch. um yeah, if I had to put my finger on it, the four I would say would probably be bangchan, what was that, Han, Seungmin, and who was here again, hyunjin. Like, I would say those would be the four to kind of like watch this next cycle or era, whatever the case may be. If I had to kind of like pinpoint and pick out anybody, not saying like something negative about them, but maybe they speak out about something or point something out or is connected with something, or allude to something. I'm not sure. And maybe is it changbin was the other. Yeah, bangchan changbin, maybe the other one. If I had to try to narrow it down, I think it's those five. Mm. I wonder what I'm picking up on here, and I wonder during this whole like album rollout this cycle if it'll come clear, because yeah, I need to know. I don't need to know, I want to know. I want to see what was trying to intuitively be relayed to me, and I wasn't just like picking up and understanding, but um I was like attuned to it in some sense, because yeah, some men for sure. And it doesn't have to be something grand or big either. It could be something just like maybe a personality change, or you notice like them their interactions are a bit different or something. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of this. I feel like that's enough. I didn't see any questions, so cool. I am going to hop off because I have to get my day started. I have a busy Saturday. Hopefully, you all will have a wonderful Saturday as well. I won't wish the busyness on you because maybe this is your day off. This is your actual time to actually relax. So I won't wish that on you. But I do thank you for coming in and watching this live with me. Or if you are watching it on replay, that is perfectly fine as well. If you can give me some more details down in the description, that would be awesome. Well, not description, sorry, the chat, the comment section, just so I can be more aware of what's going on, or more informed. That would be wonderful. Maybe there's also something here that I was stating or a certain card here or energy that you were picking up on as I was going through this reading that you can share as well. So with all that being said, I wish you a great night, day, morning for the rest of us here on the Eastern time, a great day, and I will see you in the next video. For those of you who are super excited, I will be doing Gabrielle Guevara and Nicole Wallace, I think was her name. I will be doing them tomorrow. I know some people are really interested in an update on kind of like their energies, and it has been requested time and time again. So I will be reading up on that. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see the next time I upload. All right. Have a great one. See you in the next one. Bye.